Today we are going to learn how to put together your clarinet, things to watch out for so that the clarinet stays safe, and how to clean it up and put it away when you're done. So the first thing you need to do is you need to find a safe place for the clarinet, for the case. I am at my desk, so I have it just over here on the side. There it is. Okay. But a good place for you to put it is probably going to be on the floor if you're in class, or maybe on your bed, kitchen table, somewhere flat, so that it's not going to fall over, and make sure that nobody's going to trip over it if it is on the floor. Make sure it's somewhere safe because we don't want any accidents because instruments are very expensive. Okay, so the next step is that when you open your case, you should be able to read your name right here. Okay, if you can't read it, it's upside down, and you're going to open it and it's going to fall out and it's going to break, and then nobody's happy. So make sure you can read your name, and right here at the top. Another way is that you can tell that the letters and the numbers are going the right way right here. Okay, so putting it down on a safe spot, opening it up, and inside you should have, all the pieces, of course. We'll get to those in a second, but you need your reed. And you should also have a cleaning cloth, which we'll get to later. I'm going to leave that there for now. First step, you're going to take your reed, take it out gently. You don't want to break this, and stick it in your mouth right now. Do it. Go. Okay. You need to get your reed nice and moist so that it'll vibrate when you're playing. Okay. I'm not going to, because this is not mine and I don't want to spread germs, but you should have this in your mouth right now for this entire process. Okay. All right, so I always start with the bottom because it has a nice flat piece. This is the bell, and I always put it right here on my knee. Okay, so bell, I'm going to tilt this down a bit. There we go, on my knee. All right, the next part that you're looking for is this part right here. And I can tell the difference because there are these 4 square keys. There's another long piece in here that has a line of 4 button keys. You do not want this one yet. The first one you go for after the bell is this one with the 4 square right here. Okay, so you just put it into the bell and you wiggle very, very gently. You don't want to crush the keys because otherwise they're going to bend really easily. So just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Sometimes I use my knee to help support and press it down. So now you should have 2 pieces together. Well done. Okay, now you get the other long part. This is the one with the 4. Okay, and the 4 always goes toward the bottom. So you have holes and then 4. For this one, holes and 4. Okay, now with the piece that we just put together, look for this little notch right here. Okay, here are the holes. You turn it. That's your that's like X marks the spot right here. Okay, on this one, right next to, or actually right underneath these 4 keys, there's another little notch right here. We want to match this notch to this one. Okay, so the best way to do this is to press down this key right here. It makes this notch move. Okay, so press this down. It's going to hold it up. See, pressing it down, it holds it up. Very gently. Wiggle, 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 until it's right on top of that other notch. Okay, see how they're right on top of each other now? Okay, that should create a line. It's how these 2 pieces connect. That's really important. Now, when you're wiggling, you want to be really careful that you're not twisting too far, because then these keys here are going to run into these keys here, and then they're going to bend and not work anymore. All right, so make sure that's lined up. We're looking good. Okay, so now you have a nice long clarinet with your bell, your 2 body pieces, and then the next part is the barrel. It's just this round part. Wiggle that on top. Okay, and you're never forcing. If you force it, you're probably doing something wrong. Every week we will be putting on cork grease. I can't give this to you in your case because I don't have enough, but we will have it in class for you to put on so that it makes it a little easier to you put it on the cork and makes it easier to put it together. Okay, so there's that. Last part is your mouthpiece. Okay, take the cap off, don't need that. Take the ligature off so that it doesn't bend. That's the silver part, ligature off. Okay, now look at the back of your clarinet. You have all the holes in the front. Look at the back of the clarinet. You should have a little teardrop shaped button right here and a hole. Okay, the mouthpiece, the hole of the mouthpiece right here goes in line with this line and the hole. So wiggle that right on down. And again, I'm using my knee to support the clarinet so that it's never in danger of falling. Okay, so nice and tight. You don't want any space there. Okay, and the hole of the mouthpiece is lined up with the hole right here. Okay, and that's how you know you did it right. Okay, next part. You should have your reed in your mouth still. You can take it out now. Your reed, the flat part of the reed, see how there, if you look really closely, there's kind of, it's hard to see on the video, but there's a curved side and then there's a flat side. That's usually where the name of the reed is printed. This flat side is what goes on the flat side of the clarinet. Okay, so flat side to flat side, place it on the mouthpiece just like that. You should have just a teeny tiny bit sticking up. Like you should be able to feel the reed if you tap gently, but just barely, just teeny tiny bit. And we'll be checking this over the next couple weeks. So hold it there with your, I usually hold it with my left thumb. Take your ligature and gently place over the mouthpiece. You have to be really careful. If you break the reed, it's not going to work anymore and you're going to need to buy a new one. Okay, so now the ligature's on. If you have it upside down, it'll stop about there. Do not force it. If it stops here, it probably means you have it upside down. So just gently flip it over. Okay, so now your reed should be pretty secure on its own. It shouldn't be falling. Now's a good time to double check that it's still in a good spot. You can adjust it a tiny bit. Okay, and then the last part is just to, sliding a little bit. Last part is to just tighten these screws. The top one and the bottom one. It doesn't need to be super tight, but it should be pretty snug. Okay, all right, cool. So you know how to put your clarinet together. Woohoo, everything's set. Okay, next part, you're gonna take your right hand, thumb, goes underneath this little hook right here. That's where most of the weight of the clarinet should rest, okay? Thumb underneath, other thumb, left thumb, on this hole in the back, okay? The reed should be facing you now, okay? I should not, if you were holding it this way so that I see the reed, that's not right. Turn it to face you, okay? So check your thumb, hole, thumb, hook, okay? Right hand on the bottom, left hand on top. It's the same as recorders that we learned in 3rd grade a while ago now. Okay, let's start with your left hand. So you have your thumb on the back, your first finger, first hole, not the teardrop key, not this one, first hole, second hole, third hole. You skip this one, you don't need to press it down, you're aiming for the holes, okay? So thumb, 1, 2, 3, check your right thumb, make sure it's still under that hook in the back, and same thing, hole 1, 2, 3. Your pinkies just get to rest. They don't press anything yet. They do eventually. If you get really advanced, you can start using your pinkies, but we probably won't get to that in the first year. We might. We'll see. All right, so this is where your fingers go. Even if you're not pressing the fingers down for a note, like for the most part, we don't press our right hand down when we're first starting clarinet. If they're not pressing down, they still need to rest on top of the keys so that they can be ready to press down, okay? But they don't cover. They just kind of rest there. Left hand though, left hand's going to do a lot of work. They just rest on top. Our first note that we learn is no fingers. Then we add our thumb, 1, 2, 3, okay? But you should be resting your fingers on top, ready to go. All right, so just to review some things to look out for. Never ever twist so far that these keys are going to run into each other. This key gets bent a lot. I can fix it, but only if you smile and ask me really nicely. I'm not going to be very happy that I have to because it is a lot of extra work and it's kind of hard to do. It's just, I need to be stronger. Okay, that's one thing to look out for. If your corks here are getting really dry and you can't wiggle your instrument back together, tell me because we don't want the corks to dry out and break. We'll put some extra grease on. And just make sure you don't smash the keys. The clarinet keys are really easy to bend. Okay, so all that being said, let's take it apart. We're going to go backwards. So take the ligature off. You loosen here at the top. Loosen, loosen, loosen. Just place that to the side. Take your reed off. Put your reed back in its case right away because we don't want that to break or anything. Okay? Some of your cloths, you can go ahead and take that out now. Some of your cloths will fit through the mouthpiece. That's the best way to do it because that mouthpiece can get kind of dirty. So let's see if this one will fit in this clarinet. You want the weighted side to go first, not the cloth side. There should be a little heavy piece right here. Heavy piece through the mouthpiece, and you're just going to feed it through the clarinet. And you kind of have to jostle it up and down a little bit. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And eventually you'll find it the other side, right? You're going to pull that through. Pull, pull, pull. Pull, pull, pull. Come on, cloth. All right. So that was, that just cleaned the mouthpiece. It didn't go all the way through. Some of them they will go through, this one didn't. So now that the mouthpiece would be clean because you've got spit all through here, you can take the mouthpiece off. Wiggle, 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 back and forth, okay? Ligature on. Remember, we never force the ligature. If it looks like this, it's upside down, you're doing it the wrong way. Do not press, okay? Turn it over, all right? Mouthpiece, or the cap, gentle on, and find the slot for it in your case, which I have over here and you can't see. All right, now we should be able to fit this cloth through. So feed it through again. Heavy part down. Wiggle it through. Here it is. Pull it through. Ta-da! And that, I did that so fast you didn't even see the cloth go through. Woo, magic. Okay. You need to do that at least 3 times. I would do it, I mean, if you've been playing for a long time, like if you're an ICANN, then I would do it like 4 times because there can be a lot of spit and gross and ugh that you just don't want in here. I did clean all of these cloths. They are clean for you. Nobody else's spit is on them. Okay, I'm going to do it just one more time. Here we go. Feed it through, find the end, pull. I'll do it slower so you can see. There's the cloth. Ta-da! Okay, so clarinet, cross your lap. We always want to keep it safe. Wrap up your cloth. And cloth goes in the case. Do not lose this or you will be buying a new one for the school. Okay, and continuing on, take the barrel off, wiggle, and be very careful that you're not smushing the keys here. Gentle. Barrel's off, it goes in the case. Make sure it's going the right way. The barrel is a little bigger on one side than the other side, so you want to make sure that it's fitting in the case correctly. Okay, next part, be really careful not to run these keys into each other. So I'll turn this way, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Okay, off. In the case. And wiggle, 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 wiggle. There we go. In the case. And in the case. Okay, everything should have its own spot. Make sure that these 2 long pieces are going in the correct place because there are cutouts for them. So if it doesn't look like it quite fits, you might have it backwards, upside down, you might have to switch them. Just make sure that everything really puzzle pieces together, okay? When you're done, you should have your whole clarinet, obviously. You should have your cloth. You should have your reed. Don't lose any of those things. Close it up tight. And you're done. Congratulations. This week, I hope that you play your clarinet. Any notes, any sounds, whatever you want. Just get used to that mouthpiece and good luck. Bye.